Hi everyone, it's Jenny from Haphazard Book Nook, and today I am going to talk about the TBR that I have for the Buzzwordathon slash Buzzwordathon cover edition that Books and Lala puts out. Alright, so Books and Lala puts out a Buzzwordathon every year. I think she's been doing it for 4 years or 5 years. And so this year she decided to do buzzwords so you have to find like a word in the title, and covers. So what I decided to do for this is I'm going to do books that have both the word and the cover prompt, and I'm going to read these like throughout the year, not necessarily in the correct months. I'm just going to try to get through them. So some of these are subject to change just because some of them were a little more difficult to find, but I'm going to go ahead and go through what the prompts are and what books that I chose to fit the prompts. So the first one for January is supposed to be, the buzzword is truth or lies, and then the cover prompt is a pattern on the cover. So for this one, I chose Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. This seems like it's maybe like, I don't know if it's like a dark romance. It might just be like a gray romance. I don't really know. I think it's about like twin brothers or something, but the pattern on it is a cross stitch pattern. So like the pattern is the X's on it. For February, the buzzword is water words, and then on the cover it needs to have a skyline, and this one was really hard for me to find. So the one that I tentatively have right now is Taken at the Flood by Agatha Christie. I have read a couple other of her books, of like the Hercule Poirot ones, so like I'm really interested in getting to this, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be like my favorite, but it's one of the only ones I could find that has a water word and a skyline. For March, it has to have the word thing in it, and it can be like in a words like everything, nothing, like that sort of thing. And then on the cover, there has to be a book or books. So for this one, I chose Something in the Air, and that's by Suzanne Enoch. So I don't know a ton about this one. I read it, and it's about like a couple, and I think that the wife ends up finding out that like she's royalty. I'm not 100% sure, but it sounded interesting. So that's the one I'm going to go with for that one. So the next one's super easy. So the cover and the buzzword are both animals. So you just have to have an animal on the cover and some animal in the title. So for this one is one that I've wanted to read for a while, and it's Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doty. So this one is a nonfiction from like a medical examiner, I believe, and she talks about different things that happen like after you die with like your body. All right, and then the next one also might change just because of the cover prompt. I didn't do as specific as she kind of like mentioned. So the buzzword was two or two, but not two, and the cover needed to have eyeballs or eyes on it. So I chose The Truth According to Ember, but while it has eyes on it, she wanted the eyes kind of highlighted, but I really wanted to get this book on this list somewhere. So this is where it's at. For June, the buzzword is any memory words. So like memory, remember, forgot sort of ones. And then for the cover image, it has to have something celestial. So like stars, sun, moon sort of things. And for this one, I'm going to do the newest Abby Jimenez book. It's going to be Say You'll Remember Me. After that is going to be July, and this one, the title has to have punctuation in it somewhere, and then the cover has to have some sort of tech. So this one I chose Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. So this one is about somebody who accidentally texts the wrong number, and then like they begin a relationship or something. Next is going to be August, and the word is with, and the cover needs to have some sort of transportation on it. So for this one is one I know absolutely nothing about, but I'm interested in reading it. It is going to be Ride With Me by Lucy Keating. So I'm really interested in reading this. A lot of these I don't know a lot about because I was having to like search and find them. But when I like because I don't read full synopses, I just read like the first couple lines and it just sounds interesting to me. So that's what I go into a lot of books knowing. So this one sounded interesting to me with the first couple lines, but I don't actually remember what they were. For September, the cover needs to have some sort of foliage, and then it needs to involve an event. So one that I thought about doing, and I might still do it, is For Eads and a Funeral, but the one that I actually chose is Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulek. So this one seems to have like more actual foliage on it, and that's why I chose this one over the other one. The other one only has a flower, but that was the original one that I kind of wanted to read, but I might still read it and just do it as something completely separate. The next one is for October, and it is going to be Violent Words, and then on the cover it needs to have a weapon. So I chose Dread Nation by Justina Ireland, and this is one that's set in like, I don't know if it's the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, it's one of those, but like the bodies of the soldiers start rising and like they're basically like zombies. So I love zombie books, so I'm excited to get to that one. All right, and then for November is Never in the title, and then the cover has to have a food or drink. And so for this one, I chose Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. So this one I've wanted to read for a while, and so I'm finally getting it on the list so that I can get to it, because like I've owned a copy of it somewhere in my boxes of books for like at least 3 years. So like it's been a while. And then for December, the title needs to have alliteration, and then the cover needs to be monochromatic. And by monochromatic, it can be black, white, and a third color. And so for this one, I'm going to use one of my 2025 goals, which is going back to some of my old genres that I used to like. And I'm going to go and read Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So this is a book that I have wanted to read for a long time, but it was like back when I first started reading again, like once I moved to Washington. So I'm really interested in reading this and seeing if I like it still, or if I end up liking it rather, because it is a genre I used to read a lot more of. And so that is my tentative TBR. Some of these, like I said, could change. But that is what I'm kind of planning on reading. And again, I'm not going to read them in the months that they're supposed to be in, most likely. I just am going to read them whenever I want to. But I wanted to go ahead and have like a list of books that I could like reference and try to like read off of throughout the next year. Do you have any recommendations for these book prompts? Do you have any recommendations that cover both prompts for each month? Because some of them were quite difficult. If you do have any, go ahead and leave them down below. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.